Thank you. Welcome to Beyond the Noise. When it comes to the noise, we all have to learn how to get beyond it. And the question is, what is the noise? The noise is the chaos and the confusion, the anxiety that we see that's going on in the world. All that noise has been accelerated looking at 2019, 2018 to where we are today. There's all types of systems and all types of things, all types of chaos that we have not seen before that's in play today. If you go back to the BC, before COVID, everything had a certain atmosphere. It had a certain way of how things were operating. But then when we got to the AC or the AD, the after death of COVID, it became a total different season, a total different environment. So the key in this, if we don't understand what's going on, we're going to get caught into the chaos. We're going to get caught into the confusion. Our job is to get beyond that confusion, to get beyond that noise. But you're going to have insight. You're going to have answers. And as we have the answers, as we understand the political landscape, as we understand those devices that are placed out here to keep us in the noise, there's a certain purpose for that. And that purpose is to avoid you from getting to your destiny, from getting to your promise. And there's a whole lot of moving parts that can assist you to getting to where you need to be. But also there are moving parts that is looking to defeat you from getting to where you need to be. Those moving parts can be our politicians, the Democrats, the Republicans. Those moving parts can be individuals. JD Vance, who we're speaking on tonight. But also it can be Bill Gates. It can be Elon Musk. It can be so many different people. But the thing is this, they're either going to hinder you from getting to your destiny, or with wisdom on your part, what they're saying will assist you to get to your destiny. Now, they may want to assist you, and in their assisting is not what they want to do. It's not their goal to see that you're successful, but it's their job to expose what that challenge is. So once they expose what the challenge is, now we're learning how to become conquerors, learning how to become more than conquerors, overcomers. That's the key. Once we observe what the noise is, don't run from it. Don't hide from it. Stand to the noise. It may not going on is this transfer, this wealth transfer, this global reset. That's what's in place. But the problem is the anxiety that this reset is causing and what is causing. There's anxiety, there's fear, there's emotional challenges and trauma that comes with it. There's trauma that comes from the genetic. Things that you don't have from the neck up in your head or from the neck down instead. And those are the issues and the things that we are faced with that we have to learn how to go beyond. We got to get beyond the norm. And so it's understanding what it is that these characters are bringing. They're bringing to say, look, they understand the transfer is happening. Everybody understands that that's involved. But the thing is, they cannot stop the transfer from going to those that are in right standing, those that are known as the righteous. Now here's the thing, we all can say that we are righteous. You can say it, I can say it, but here's the thing, that's not our decision to decide on what it is. It's not our decision. It's a different source that makes that decision, and that's what opens the door to your value. That's what opens the door to who you are. So we have this transfer, whereas it came from the Vatican, who has a lot of money, who makes a lot of decisions, who has great influences, and the things that the Vatican was representing from the current Pope, Pope Francis, who's no longer with us, and JD Vance is night and day. That right there was a transfer of wealth. Whatever it was that the Pope was representing, this is what I'm saying as we're observing. This is why it's important to not be in it, but to understand that we are of it. There's a transfer. Even from the point of what's going on in trade, the trade is pushing a transfer. Now, what it looks like is a transfer, the wealth that is over in the is geared to come to America. That's what it looks like. The wealth that is on a global stage is being pushed to America. Even Israel is being submissive to America. India is being submissive to America. The Vatican is being submissive to America. How do we know this? Let's look at the trades. Canada, submissive. Mexico, submissive. So what does that tell you? Already we had great wealth prior to the trade, prior to Trump. But how we're utilizing this wealth now, how we're spending the money now, the accountability, all that is changing. All that's changing. And in the change of this, we're coming into a new season. And in that new season, we're going to see the old players are not there anymore. The old players are falling off. What is the odds right after that meeting with JD Vance, we had the Pope to die? That's an expression of transfer. There's life and there's death. Things change. And when they change, they're changing into a place of value. That's what we're looking at. There's a transfer that's happening right before our eyes. We can see it easily with the trades. We can even go backwards and see the transfer based on our emotions. We could see the transfer as far as our emotions go on what happened with the transgender challenges. That was a transfer. In other words, that's not value anymore. There's a new value now. That value is going into the place of righteous. The righteous that the Pope represented, it's not the same anymore. And when you look at China fighting the system, it opened the door for India. Now that the door is open for India, there's the possibilities of a better deal. There's a possibility of the India economy becoming large as the China economy. And even through the process of this, the development and the growth, in the long run, was China able to continue its strength in being a world power with the loss of its young people? India fits the profile. It has many people. So India plays a role. That's where JD Vance came in at with the people of India, with the nation of India. So notice how the wealth is coming to America. People are having meetings. And what's interesting is that Donald Trump wasn't in that meeting. JD Vance was there. He's the vice president. Being that he is the vice president, also being a heartbeat away from being the president, is out there making great moves. What we're doing, observing. We're watching how this movement is happening. And you can take it back. Look at when Joe Biden was president, vice president to Barack Obama. If he had this type of authority to go, would he be moving to a place of righteousness? There's no evidence of that. Let's look at Kamala Harris. Would she be moving to a place of righteousness? We have evidence of that as well. That's not the direction more than likely that she would go because of the stance that she took when it came to the African nations, saying that you have to be in agreement with transgenderism. The Supreme Court saying to her to let a certain group of people out of prison, and she didn't. See, all that in this season that we're in, it's accountability. It's a level playing field now. There are apologies that has come through the Vatican, and those apologies may have not been put on mainstream media, but those apologies are in the atmosphere now. And we are the recipients of those apologies. And the point is this: what are we, who are the people, are going to do about it? As we're observing the decisions that our business leaders and our political leaders are making, all that's fine, but you have to be on par with doing things in the right way because the wealth is coming to you. This wealth is about your ability to serve, your ability to solve problems. What we have is a society and politicians that don't have the understanding of how to serve. So that means that if everything is given to them, there's going to be lack. Notice what's happening. We have the threat of taxes being removed. Taxes no longer being a part of our economy. So that means the finances are coming from the other nations. That's in theory. And as the finances are coming from the other nations, it's coming to us. It's coming to us who are the people. Now that it's coming to us, what is our assignment? Our assignment is to serve and solve the problems because that is where your greater wealth is. See, in the transfer, once the money's to you, there's still work that needs to be done. That's the process of what we see with the Vatican and in moving from the Vatican as we're going to India. It's all about the money. Even from what we've seen in recent days with the cryptos, they're skyrocketing. That too is playing a part of the transfer. What else? The gold, the silver. What else? You. That's right, you. You play such a big part. You play such a big role. The value that is in you is what the world wants. There's something about our environment. There's something about us who are Americans where the entire globe wants to come to America even though things don't look right. People are trying to come through the borders. Canada. Come from Mexico. Why? Because they want to come and work. They want to come and serve. But here's one thing that's obvious. In your ability to serve, there's no longer situations of serving from a place of oppression. Not happening. You're talking about greater than livable wages now. Because if you want it done, the value of the people who serve, that is what you're going to have to bring. That is how you're going to have to pay it. And as you find your way of receiving in this area, because look, that wealth comes through you in solving a problem. So in solving it, don't be afraid to be the most expensive, and don't be afraid to be a person that gives it as a gift. This is that hour of where we are. This is what's happening with the global stage. We're coming into a place of preparation. It stands before us. Even with the movement of India, as JD Vance was in India, one of the things that stood out to me was how his wife is an immigrant from India. Her parents are from India. So it made it very easy as a flow for JD Vance to go there. And as you look at that marriage of India and America and what the wealth potential is going to be, the amount of people that India has, when you look at what occurred with COVID, they did not have much of an issue at all with COVID. Unfortunately, at the time, they didn't get the treatments that was needed, vaccines. But they came through it with strength. They came through it on the other side of the birth rate where they are positive in that area. So they are a market that's in demand. And that market that's in demand, and because we are partnering with that market, a lot of who they are and what they are doing from a positive stance is going to rub off on us. This is making it very challenging for China. Something's going to have to be done, but the door is open now, whereas a lot of new things, business, understanding is moving to that nation known as India. And when you look at the religious value of all of this, I find it to be kind of interesting because what JD Vance has done in leaving the Vatican and then going to India, it's very interesting. So we have an opportunity in this hour to learn, because so many people are worried based on the tariffs. So many people are worried based on the U.S. aid and how the finances of U.S. aid is no longer going to India, no longer going to China, no longer going to Africa. But when we found out what the U.S. aid represented, we realized that it had to be cut. And as those areas are being cut, it's just simple. The money is being moved to a different place. The money is being moved to a different sector within our economy. The money that was in the federal government, that money that's being moved, canceled, is going to a different place. That different place is wide open for the people. Not those that have a job just sitting on their hands, but those that are the movers and shakers. That's the season that we are in. That's getting beyond the noise. There's noise everywhere. There's noise in so many different places. But we're going to pay attention to the noise, and we're going to learn and get the understanding of how to come out of the noise. As we come out of it, we're going to be better for it. And as we are better for it, so is our communities. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for being a part of Beyond the Noise.